and welcome to my Flosstube. It's a sunshine iced tea kind of day. Hopefully you have a lovely day as well. You're enjoying it. You're able to get out and enjoy it, whatever day of the week it is. It's a Friday for me. I have no idea when I'm going to get this uploaded and sent out. It could be Sunday by the time you see it. I have no idea. Just depends on how busy I am and how fast I can get everything edited and uploaded. Anyway, this is the Wendy and Neverland channel. I hope you are getting lots of stitching done as well. You're able to make time for that and enjoy all that. As you can see, I'm sitting by my pond again. We finally have a nice day that it's not raining. The wind isn't blowing like crazy, and we can sit out here and enjoy this. Try to ignore all of that mess over there. I am slowly but surely getting things done. It just takes a very long time to do everything. So let's move on with it, shall we? The first thing I'm going to show you real quick is my update on my garden. I've kind of talked about it in different videos, how things are going, the planting of things this year, and so I'm going to show you what it looks like and kind of update on what's been happening over there. So we will get to that now. Here is an update on my garden. It's doing fairly well. Let's get a little closer to some of these. So we've got our onions, like green onions. They're doing pretty well. Hopefully the sun isn't too bright that you can't see. Carrots are doing lovely. That cucumber had about 2 or 3 starts and now it's down to 1. Not sure what has happened, if something's gotten to it. These are doing much better, so we'll have some cucumbers at least from them, I hope. Let's look at our tomatoes here. Tomatoes are doing well. So hopefully I see some flowering going on, so that's good. And then this box is going a little crazy. We have zucchini, lots of zucchini. We will be overloaded with zucchini, but that's okay. I don't mind giving some away. Then we got a mixture here. We still have some lettuce that's kind of running down the middle of this stuff, but these right here are beans, like green beans, so they're around each of these stakes. And these are peas. My peas are going bananas this year. They did not do as well. And I'm starting to get, here's a little baby one. But down here, you're starting to see some. There's a bunch of them all over the place here. Ones here. Yeah, and they're just about ready to pick, I think, at least some of them. So, yeah, they're doing great. They're just kind of come around here. So you can see, this is our lettuce. I need to kind of pick this and get it out of here because I think it's about at the end of how long I can keep it in here. But yeah, it's doing lovely so far. Let's see, I think I'm zoomed in a little bit. There we go. Doing lovely so far. Now, something that I decided to do with my husband's idea is get a trail camera. So there is a trail camera. Yeah, that thing right there is a trail camera. And it is pointed at my garden. Because I kept having things dig in my garden and I didn't know what it was. And I had put these, as I had mentioned before, the hazelnut shells down to prevent if it was like a cat. Because I was told that they don't like to step on those. They're a little sharp. And so I did that. And at that point, I took this fencing down. It's just wrapped around there. It's not tacked down by anything except these little bricks. And something was digging in there again. Now, I didn't have as much growing, but still. And something dug in that about 8 different spots. But it didn't look like a cat on those. That one looked different. The digging looked different. So after that happened, I was like, okay, just get the trail camera and let's see what's going on. And we have found that there have been 3 different cats that like to come through the yard. And then finally we saw a raccoon. And I'm thinking that's what had dug in that box. I think the cats dug in these boxes. And then that. Now, once things started digging in these boxes again, I put that fencing back up around both of these 2 boxes here. I haven't put anything over here in the tomato one yet. I haven't put anything around there because I'm hoping that we'll be fine. But once I put this back up, And the trail camera, I only saw a cat jump over this fence once, and they didn't dig, because when it came out to check, there was nothing that had been dug. So yeah, it's kind of fun watching that, but not having any more damage. I'm hoping to take these fencing down soon, especially in that back one. We've got enough growth that I don't know that they'll dig in it anymore. This one I'm a little concerned about still. And I may leave that one up longer, because once the cucumbers get big enough and they start wanting to attach to that little fencing that's around it, I don't mind if they attach to this part that's coming up over here like this. But if they start, their little trellises start, you know, grabbing onto this fencing, I don't want to leave it up. So hopefully this stuff will just go bananas and grow and grow and grow, and I'll be able to take this down. I hope you enjoyed that. For those of you who do like to garden, it is a very sunny spot. Once, you know, you get past the house, the sun gets past the house next to us, because it does shade that part until, you know, like mid-morning or something like that, and the rest of the day it is warm, 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 and so it loves it over there, but it makes it a little hard to film because it's pretty bright. So I hope y'all have, you know, like I said, get outside. There was some times where I was not getting out here because I had stuff to do inside. I was working, like physically working at my job and whatnot. And I could feel that it's like, I just don't feel right. And the next day I was finally able to get outside. It's like, that's probably what it was. I hadn't been able to get outside, and I just kind of felt down in the dumps or something. I'm not sure what it was, but get outside. Fresh air, it's good for you. Okay, let's get into our whips and finishes and all the good things that you have come here to see. The first one we're going to show you, and hopefully, I know the wind comes up once in a while, and hopefully that won't play havoc with what I'm trying to show you. The first thing I'm going to talk about is this. So I had done, let me see, I had done the seashell already, and I'd showed you that, and then I started on the turtle. And this is the best picture I have, because everything else that goes with each of these is the chart, so I can't show you that. So it is this turtle. He's really cute, and all these have some kind of sea image, you know, with the coral, fish, all that kind of stuff in their images. So let's get that out. I might actually need the paper behind it. I always forget those little things. So here it is. He's so lovely. Love him. I immediately wanted to stitch this after I came back from my trip from Hawaii, because it reminded me of swimming with the turtles and all of that fun goodness. If you didn't see my last video, go back and see that. It's all my stuff we did while we were in Hawaii, and swimming with the turtles was one of them. So there he is. He's starting to get, you know, he's got some fish on him already, just some of the waves of the water, and then starting to also get some other stuff down in here, some of the coral in that part. So there he is. Lovely. Love my turtle. Let's see. So I have brought, let me find my book. I have brought my book out with all of the information for all the different facts that y'all might want to know. And I think last time I told you I wasn't going to, I'm going to pick some up real quick. I wasn't going to tell you all of the different facts about what fabric I used, any things I changed, all that kind of stuff, because I had a lot going on that I wanted to talk to you about with the Hawaii stuff. So I did not include a lot of that stuff when I did my video last time. So I'm going to try to remember to do that this time. And I know sometimes in the 2 videos ago, there was sometimes where I still forgot to tell you some things. So the brain just does not want to work sometimes, I'm telling you. All right, so the next one is this, the beloved one. It's lovely. Now I have moved my Q-snap. Yes. Words, again, are hard today. So you will not see this part up here. This is finished except for some of these side parts coming down a little bit. So we're going to look at more of this part of it. Now, with this, I used Atomic Ranch fabric, 40 count Blue Ridge linen. So that's the fabric I used. I did do one switch for the floss, one of the greens. It just didn't look right when I stitched with called for, so I changed it up. So let me see if I need to put something behind it in case it's gonna wash it out a little bit. There we are. So we're down into the bird on the bottom. So we have some, got some leaves stuff going on up here. I think I had finished that, but we've got some of this and then a lot of this bird down here. So it's coming together. It's getting there. So pretty. So pretty. But yeah, we're getting there. We got a lot of coloring on the wings. I've got that brown part. That's what all the speckled brown is. That's for those wings. Still got quite a bit of foliage down here. And then we'll need to finish up the border on the sides as well as the bottom. So that's what I'll need to be doing eventually, getting to all of that. So there is my beloved stitch. I'll put all this away because just too much mess if I don't. By the way, so with this turtle, I just used a white linen, nothing special. I think it's a 28 count. I can't remember right off. And because I already went through it, I'm not going to go back and try to find all this stuff about it. Oh gosh. How's everybody's day going? All right, let me see if I can find my next one here. This, I think I might have already passed it. That's the only bad thing about doing this is it's on different pages, so I'm going to have to flip through and find it. All right, so the next one is this. Autumn Blessing by Shannon Christine. I love Shannon Christine stuff. So fun. All right, so with this, it's just an Aida, the fabric that I used. It is a 14 count, but I dyed it myself, so it's not a specific color. I am using 2 threads because it is this stuff, because it is 14 count. So we've got 2 threads. Let me move this other thread here. So there we go. I worked a lot on this sunflower down here. We're going to move that again. I think I finished up a little bit of these pumpkins, but hardly anything. Most of it has been this. And that has taken far longer than I thought it would, of course. These things always seem to do that. So we got that done. I believe I started finishing up a little bit more of this checkered border. It will come all the way down here and up this other side as well. And then I will probably work on this over here because this is another sunflower. Almost everything is a sunflower. There's a little bit of pumpkins. I'll show you again. A little bit of pumpkins, which you got here and here, but everything else is some kind of sunflower. So I'll probably go over here next. So I'll show you that again in case you want to see it. It is so cute. Very lovely. Alrighty, and once again, we get to put it away. I think I will pause this while I do that. All right, that was really kind of helpful because it helped me get that put away as well as look for the next information about this next stitch. And this is, again, another web. So this is greenhouse. So this is house number 3 for this year's collection. I've showed a lot of this before, so it's not like you haven't seen this one yet. Okay, so I used Edinburgh linen 36 count. Again, I dyed this fabric myself so that I could get the right color because I wasn't finding the right one at the store at Acorns and Threads. So I went ahead and did that. Now, I used all of the, as I talked about in the last video, I was using all of the called for threads. But the outline of the greenhouse was not showing up enough because it was using 3865, which is a white, but it's kind of a creamier white. So it was just kind of blending in. I wasn't terribly happy with that. And I made comments about that, and I have a lot of suggestions, which I am so happy you guys gave me those suggestions, because it gave me ideas of what I should do to potentially change it. So I did a little fiddling around with it, a little experimenting, and I'm not sure. I'm going to try and see if I can find it. Yes. And I did show this a little bit on Instagram. Wasn't probably the best of videos, but I did show it. So here is what I'm going to show you what I've done so far. Here's what it looks like. So I did do some more flowers. I added this flower set over here, but I ripped out all of the white outlining that I had done and redid it. And what I changed it to was, do I have it here? I think it's upstairs. The B5200. And because this is a 36 count, I'm only using one thread for most things, but with that outlining, I am using 2 threads. So not only am I using a brighter white, but I'm using 2 threads, so it hopefully stands out a little bit better. Let me put something behind that to help to see it a little better. So hopefully that's showing up out here. I think it is. So what I ended up doing, I did some little tests over here, and this was with 1 thread, and this was with 2 threads. So I could see, yep, the 2 threads is showing up a lot better. So that's what I wanted to go with. So I really like how it turned out, and thank you for everybody's suggestion, because that was one of the ideas, is not only to use 2 threads, but also changing which thread I was going to use. So I ended up doing that. All right, let me get to the next one. The next whip I have, kind of whip, kind of finish, is this. So this is the combination pack of the stars and stripes. They do sell these separate now, so you could get those separate if you wanted to. I have finished the stripes a while back, and I started on this ampersand. And so I have finished that part. There we are. Quick little finish. It didn't take terribly long to get that done. There's a cat in the field next to me. I don't believe it's one of the cats I've seen on my video, but it's a cat. Anyway, it didn't take too long to work on this. And so now I will be able to start on the stars, barn / house, whatever. I think barn is more. So I'm going to be able to start on this next. And I had mentioned that the called for color for was this kind of blue here, is this. It's called Mountain Mist. It's much more green than I like. I mean, it looks green. It definitely looks greenish, not bluish. So I changed it, and now I don't remember what it was, and I forgot to bring it with me out here. So I will try to remember to do that. It was just, you know, that kind of faded, oldish kind of blue is what I ended up changing it to. But as you can see, you back stitch these stars all throughout it. And also there are spots that have blank stitching, so the fabric shows through. So that's what that is. And speaking of which, I need to tell you about that. This is Tabby Cat Linen, 36 count, called Muddy Duck. That's what this is. I did do one other switch. I switched, it called for Fawn from Weeks Dye Works. And that's kind of a creamy color. I had to switch it to Parchment. And that's again by Weeks, because Fawn blended too much into this, and Parchment was just enough of a difference that it showed up better. So that is the difference, the change I made with that, as well as this blue. I believe this color is called for in the stars portion, because the same person that designed this. And so I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing over here. For whatever this is called for, I'm gonna have to switch it to the one I changed it to, because I want blue more than green in that. So that's what I will end up doing with that. I'm gonna put this away. It only takes a second, and I think I'll be able to not pause you this time because I've got everything kind of ready for a couple of them. All right, so the next thing we're going to cover is a total finish. Now, not an FFO. I haven't like finished it out into its box yet. But the next one is Sam's Stripes. He's finished. He's finished. So that will now, I need to get some, I think I need to get some foam board to mount this on and then put it in that box that I've talked about in the past, which I probably need to show y'all. So it's been a while since I've talked about the box that I'm going to use. But maybe by next video, I will have it actually FFO'd and I won't have to actually like remember to bring the box with me. It's the whole kit and caboodle. Just bring it all with me. So this was using lamb's wool linen 32 count. That's the fabric I stitched it on. I did do the option of stitching whatever was gold as the cry-neck. So that is one of those. But yeah, that's, here it is. Aren't they adorable? They're great. So yeah, they're all finished. All my little Sams. I don't think I have a whole lot to say about them, except for they're lovely. And I finished it just in time for the 4th of July. Yes. So yeah, I'm hoping I won't get so busy, crazy, nutty that I will actually have it FFO'd to show you in the next video. But you know, life happens and you just never know what's going to come up. And you know, the best laid plans of mice and men, as they say, you just don't know. All right, I'm going to get ready for the next two and then come back. I think it's another iced tea break time. Yum. Okay, this is another finish. I've gotten a lot done. And that is the Welcome Spring. Very cute. Okay. Oh, I always put this down and then I forget I need to put it behind the fabric. So the specs on this, I used a Weeks Linen 40 count parchment. I had to switch some of the threads. I'm not going to go into all of them because I could not get all of them when I kitted this up. So I matched it as close as I could to something else. And now there's a helicopter going overhead. One moment, please. You just never know when you're outside if something like this is going to happen. So, yeah. Okay, so here we are. All finished. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Couple things I'm going to point out is this lamb's ear is just, I just want to pet it all the time because it's done just with this straight satin stitch you're using. Now I used one thread for the stitching, but for that I used two. I wanted to fill, you need to fill up that space as much as possible. So I just want to pet it all the time. I just want to pet it. And as you can notice, there is a little bell here. It's kind of like this antique type of bell. Kind of, maybe that sun will show it up a little better. There we go. You can kind of see the bell a little bit better maybe. But yeah, you put that in there as well. And there we are. She's a finished. Don't know what I'm going to do to FFO it yet. That's always the fun part of finishing things. I know sometimes people are like, I just stitch because I just want to stitch and I'm not so worried about the FFOing part. So I don't know. I'm kind of fall in between there. It's like I want to FFO things. It's not that I just want to stitch just to stitch, but I don't always get things FFO'd as fast as I would like. The next thing was two things. It was a new start and a finish. This took me, it took me a little over a week because I focused on this. So I stitched on it every day and it was a little over a week before I finished it. And it's lovely. It's lovely. So let me show you a couple things. I just got this off of the internet. I just Googled something that I was trying to find an image for, and so this is a PDF version. So it's this maple leaf. Now this has back stitching in it. You can kind of see the more definite lines. I have not done that. I also did not put the stem in, and I will explain that in a second. There's a good reason for the back stitching as well, why I didn't do that. So I'll tell you about that as well. What I used for this was, again, it's the lamb's wool linen 18 count. It's much stiffer than the lamb's wool I was talking about using for something else. So yeah, I did use 2 threads. Now with 18 count, I normally might not have done that, but I wanted it to be really nice and full, and just really fill up the space for this particular thing. And there it is. So pretty. So pretty. You can see how big it is. It's not as big as my hand, but it's pretty good size. And you can see, you can kind of tell where the veining's supposed to go without the lines in it. So it's still got that nice look to it. It's just doesn't have the back stitch. So what I'm going to do with this, and the reason I didn't put the stem, is I'm going to make this into like a needle book. So I am going to, this one here again, kind of, it will have an inside finished part, but then it will have another part that will open up to the back, and I'm going to connect it right here. And so having the stem would make it be in the way. So that's what I'm going to do with this. Yeah, eventually, sooner rather than later on this one, for sure. I need to get it finished for a reason. So I'm not going to just like not get that done. It's got to get done. I have another start for y'all. Because I finish things, I could start things. And even if I don't finish things, I start things. Be very naughty about that kind of stuff. I did get this as a PDF, so I do have that to show you, if I can get my papers to cooperate. And that is this. Yes, folks, that's right. I am starting a Haid. It is considered a mini, so it's not as big as my fantasy bookshelf or fairy tale bookshelf, whatever it's called, which I haven't worked on for a while. I need to get back to it. But I really, really wanted this for my wall with all my other mountain nature stuff. I am going to cut just a little bit off of it as well, just to make it as small as possible and to make it the size I want it to be. So I'm going to take off a little bit of this side, so I'll still have that trunk there, but take a little bit off of that. Same thing over here, just a little bit off of this and some of this. Not a lot, but just a little bit. Just enough with the fabric that I'm using that it's going to make it the size that I can still handle, want it to be. I am just using a bug, a white Ada, even though it looks kind of creamy, 18 count, and it's the easy grid. So it's got the gridding on it, and highly recommend that whenever you're doing something like a Haid or anything like that. So that is the kind of, oops, I did it again. I put my paper away and I need it for the back. So that is what I am using, and I will get this set up here so I can show it to you. The wind has decided to blow all of a sudden. That's fun. There it is. So I am starting in that bottom corner. I'll show you real quick and then I'll put this back up. I'm starting down here. Okay. So that is what I've gotten done so far. Quite a bit because it's, you know, it's one thread. It's very small count. Yeah. So I've gotten quite a bit done for the amount of time. I think I worked on it 2 or 3 times. I can't remember. But you think about each one of these squares is 100 stitches because it's 10 by 10. So there's quite a bit going on there. So hopefully I will stick with this because it is a mini and I do want to get it done and I want to be able to put it on my wall with my other stuff, and I won't just put it aside and then not stitch it because that would be bad. It's like, what's the point in starting things sometimes? Okay, I think we're going to jump into our next segment. So the next thing, and what I've been including in the latest this whole year, so the each month I've included new patterns that I have filmed at Acorns and Threads. So each month I go up there and I see what they potentially have as new. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes because if they don't have a lot of new stuff that's coming in, some of it's stuff that's been there from the last month or maybe even a few months. So I'm trying to make sure I'm filming stuff I haven't filmed before, or that I know is really, you know, like maybe from Christmas. We're in June right now. That's not new for the most part. So I don't have a lot to show you. The video isn't that long. She does have a table where she usually puts new stuff on it, but I wasn't really seeing a lot that was new on there, or at least that I could tell was new. She also has another box that she tries to put new stuff in as well, and that's where I pulled stuff from because it seemed like that was probably newer stuff. So that's what I'm going to put in here. It's just a short, like a minute or so video. It's not very long, to show you some of the things. And then I've got a couple of them to show you that are new, I believe, that are new as well as purchases that I made. So let's get that in here.
So here we have this little vintage charm pin keep by Scattered Seed Samplers. Very cute. Next, we have Americana Blues by Erica Michaels. So we've got that. They made into pillow as well as a strawberry. Another Erica Michaels is Celebrate Summer. Again, both the strawberry and the pillow. Then we have Stitching with the Housewives. This is the July monthly weigh-in. Let's see if we can get that. There we go. From the Nebby Needle. So we got that. It's really pretty. So that is called Pollinator's Garden. And we have this one, Lila's Studios. Be Your Best Self. So they've looked like they've made a couple of different things there. Pillow and a little circle. And we have from Kathy Barrick, Well Hidden. And another from Kathy Barrick is Cookie Cutters 3. Make sure we get that glare off there. Okay. So several different figures there to stitch. And one more from Kathy Barrick. This is like a reproduction sampler. Elizabeth LeConte, 1786. Not sure if I said that right. And then one more we have is the Hands Across the Sea, another sampler from Charlotte Amelia Steffens. So that's pretty. And then if you're into the little mice you can make, comes with all the things. So it even comes with the little tin for this one, but everything, oops, to make the mouse, tail, and all the little designs on top of her head and the base and all that kind of stuff. That comes with it. So that is here. So this is Just Nan, Madam Butterfly Mouse. So they have that here as well.
So not a lot to show you, but hopefully a few things maybe you haven't seen before that you're interested in. Something that I didn't put in that video that is new is the next house. It's the tree house. This is so cute. And I think I mentioned last month that somebody shows the sneak peeks of the next month's stuff that's going to be coming out. So I had seen a picture of this and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a bug. Hang on a minute. There we go. He's about to crawl on my lens. So I had seen a picture of this and I like, can't wait till it comes out. Well, I've seen the next one as well. So this is house 6. House number 7, it's a barn. It's so cute. I can't wait for that one to come out. So that's a new one, and that's one of my purchases. The other thing that I believe is new, because it says it's 2024, so I'm not sure when it would have come out this year, is this. Ooh, so pretty. So I love swans, especially when I'm doing like the 12 days of Christmas. Got the swans in there. But it's got the flag, so it's our patriotic kind of swan. Patriotic summer swan. So this is Summer's Swan by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. But yeah, it's very cute. Very cute. So got that. The next thing I want to talk to you about. I've been going to a little stitching meetup, you know, as we do. I haven't gone to the Acorns and Threads ones because I don't think the days and timing work for me as well. But Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery, she's been doing one since maybe October. I'm not entirely sure when they started, because I started coming in December, and I know they had at least 2 or 3 before that. So we meet once a month when we can. I know I wasn't able to go last month. Can't remember if I went the time before that, but I know I missed one of them. But it's been a lot of fun stitching with those ladies. But she had shown something that a lot of people didn't know, including people who have been stitching for a very long time. So I thought, I am going to share that with y'all, because we need to share information like this. So when you get your, a thread, whether it's DMC or anything else, and you cut off your length of thread, whatever you're going to do, and then you start pulling out, your one thread. Let me get one thread out here. So you're pulling out the one thread. To decide which end should go into the needle, you're going to do a little feel test. Feel, not field, feel. So you're going to take this and you're just going to kind of run your fingers down it. It doesn't have to be very long. Then you're going to turn it the other way and run it down your fingers again. One direction is going to feel smoother than the other, most likely. It may be a very slight difference, and in some cases you may not feel a noticeable difference at all, but it's really slight. It's going to feel a little more silky this way, and then a little bit more rough going the other way. And I can tell this direction I'm going right now is a little more rough. So the direction that feels silky, like this is a little more silky. That's the end you want to go in your needle first. That's going to keep it from knotting as you're stitching. It's also going to keep it from twisting up. It's going to keep it from breaking or getting fuzzy, because it's getting roughed up more as it's going through the fabric. Who knew? Who knew? There was a new gal there. She was new to our group, but she's also a new stitcher. So I guess Beth thought, because she was asking a lot of questions about stitching and whatnot, and so Beth decided to show her that little trick. And everybody around that was around that area were like, what? We didn't know this. And there was people there who've been stitching for a very, very long time, and they didn't know about that either. So I hope that was helpful to you. You'll be able to use that and keep your thread. The thing, I don't necessarily have it breaking, but the whole knotting and twisting up sometimes drives me absolutely bananas. So now I know why it was doing that. All right, the last thing I want to go over with you is, in my last video, I said I had a couple of giveaways that I wanted to share with people. And that was this one and this one. And our winner, because I had one person say that they were interested, was Dee Dee Williams. Congratulations. You're going to get both of them. Oh yeah, honey, you're getting both, because you're the only one who commented that said they wanted one. So I will be contacting you. I think I actually might have your address from a while back, I was looking through stuff, and I think I've sent you a bag before. So I am going to reach out to you, make sure, verify that I do actually have the correct address, and I will be sending that to you. Congratulations. I hope you like them and that they are a lot of fun. This one ought to be, you know, quick stitch and a lot of easy stuff to do. The other one might take a little bit longer. But with that, I think I am done. Hopefully this wasn't a terribly long video because I didn't have a lot of things that I was going to go over. A lot of stitching, which I was surprised because I didn't think I was going to end up with that much stitching, whether it was finishes, new starts, whips, all things. I didn't think I was going to have that much. But future plans, I know I'm going to have some electrical work done in my house, and part of that is going to be for running an underground line for the electricity to this pond, so that, you know, the little fountain as well as the stream, all of that, we just are running a long extension cord, and I don't want to be doing that. So we're going to have an underground electricity put in outlet over by the pond. I've got some other things in the house that need to be done, so I'll just have that done all at the same time. One quick little thing about my pond, in case you didn't notice anything. So I've got that little fountain thing going on back over here, right over here, kind of that direction, that thing. That's also kind of like a filter at the bottom of the pond. I'm going to change that. It's lovely, but I want to change it to like it's a water spitting feature. So I have a fish, and he'll sit on one of these rocks over here and spit into, and then it will still do its job of filtering, kind of keeping the water clean, hopefully, as well as be that. And then this, let me see if I can point it out. This little thing, this little plastic hoop thing, is the handle to a container, and it has a lily. I don't know if the video is picking up the lily or not. I think it might be. So that's new. I need to cut off that handle, but you know, when I first put it in, I wanted to make sure that it was placed where I wanted it to be and all of that before I cut that handle off. So that's what I ended up doing for the pond. But yeah, it's just going to be the normal, you know, taking care of my garden, that mess that it's around the garden. You probably saw the dirt and stuff. I haven't been able to mess with that yet. Just, yeah, yard work and just general merriment of that sort. I know a lot of you are not thinking merriment. No, 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 no. But that's kind of what I'll just kind of keep plugging along. I don't really have any plans to go do anything really special until the end of July, so that's still a bit a ways from now. So that we'll say goodbye with my iced tea, and we'll see you next time. Bye.